I almost played us a 30-second long intro video, so I'm really glad that I figured that out.
Hello.
What's going on, guys? And welcome to Half Court Heaves. I'm your host, Tony Schwartz NBA.
I'm your other host, Gifted Hoops, and I'm not happy,
We
but
got
we'll
controversy,
get into
ladies and
why.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Do you remember? People don't remember Boondock Saints. There's a scene in Boondock Saints where Willem Dafoe is like, and there was a shootout. Me and Gifted had a shootout this week.
Yeah, we played each other in fantasy, and when I tell you it's probably one of the most competitive fantasy matchups I've had in a minute, it legitimately was day for day for day. So we're going to be breaking down that matchup and some other key NBA fantasy insights for week 4 of NBA fantasy. Yeah.
I am trying to figure out, and this is the core of the controversy. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to put this into the episode. So I might just show it on the screen. So nope. Yep. Nope. I want you to look how much further my list goes down than yours for players that played on my team. Oh my God.
I'm so happy the green screen is just messing this
It's
up
killing
completely.
me.
I'd
It's
love to see
killing me.
that.
But anyway, look, there you go. There you go. Look how many more guys played for me.
So for those of y'all that don't understand what Tony's showing, he's showing the week 4 recap, and it gives you a list of all the fantasy players who produce anything for
Yes.
you. I have multiple empty squares because I didn't have many acquisitions. This man maxed out all of his acquisitions.
We get 10.
Ironically, most of them came within one day, which was the final day of the matchup.
Yes. Yes. Shout out to Jeremy Grant, who on one day gave me 41 points, and Isaiah Collier, who gave me 32.
No,
D'Angelo
Dennis
Russell.
Schroeder gave you 58. Is the one that hurt the most.
Dennis
Dennis
Schroeder,
Schroeder gave you 58. I
58
know the
points.
total. Yeah, I know the total off the top of my head because that was BS.
Look. Okay,
True
but
BS.
so before we get there, when we start this on Monday, you are absolutely killing. You get a 60-point game from Cooper Flag and a 60-point game from Julius Randle, who's been holding your team down like single-handedly.
Yes.
I legitimately, at this point, I usually chill on Monday. I want to see what's going on. I did not. I deactivated chill. Tuesday, I went hard. I went right to the waiver wire Tuesday. I was not playing around. I got everybody set up for waivers on Wednesday to come back. And I think I had a good Tuesday. Let's see. Carl gave me 60. Sabonis gave me 40. Pirtle gave me 40. Brown gave me 40. And I really didn't think I was going to win this day because you had White, Nikola playing. Anytime Nikola plays, I was dead. He scored 80 almost every time. That's day 2. Nicole gave you 80. So I have a good day, but then come around Wednesday. This is my favorite. Wednesday, I got Giuseppe playing. I got Cole Anthony, who gave me 10 points, and Luke Cornett, who gave me 20 points. These are names I just picked up to fill out the roster.
But Jimmy gave you 70.
But Jimmy gave me 70. Huge game. And that's the
Okongwu gave you
story.
36.
That's the story of this matchup. I would go and pick up Cole Anthony and get 10 points, but then low-key didn't need to do it because Jimmy would give me 70. I could have just kept somebody.
So I'm gonna let you know what happened, man. In the middle of our matchup, Cam Thomas, who was a player that I drafted, got a hamstring injury, so he's hurt. Jalen Williams has yet to make a debut to the NBA yet, and the Thunder are winning, so they're not going to rush anything. He hasn't played yet. Brandon Miller got hurt after his first game, so he's out. Jaden Ivey also out. Benedict Mathurin's been out for 2 weeks. He just debuted tonight after that because of his toe. So I'm going through multiple injuries, but my core is very, very strong. So I'm still competing with Tony back and forth.
Up until the last day, and I'm being a dick. I am trying to win. I'm not here to play. I want to win. And Gifted has no options because any player he drops is getting picked up.
It's getting picked up immediately, bro. Like it's not a game. I think the most frustrating day for me is Thursday when you get 30 out of Siakam You got 78.69. I can show it on my screen because I have it pulled up right here too. This man got 78.69 fantasy points out of Okongwu, which the main reason why he's getting is because Trae Young's not playing. And then he got 32 out of Isaiah Collier. You want to know what's crazy? I had 2 people play that day, and they put up 93 points combined. So I'm still competing despite being outnumbered by the variance that Tony has.
Yeah, and I think I forget what happened to Mathurin. Is that the game he gets dinged up?
No, he missed this entire week. This whole week he was out.
I thought Mathurin was a go for that game, and then something happened.
He didn't play a game.
You got 90 points on Thursday, and I got a 70-point Okongwu. And this is the crazier one. Isaiah Collier gave me 32.
Yes.
Okongwu getting 70 is crazy, but Collier giving me 32 was hype. I was super stoked for that. And then we go into Saturday neck and neck. We were trading back and forth day to day. Who was in the lead by like 50 points? And again, Julius Randle's just giving you 60-point games almost every night he plays. Then turn around and on their last day, like I said, you got 60 from White, 60 from Book, almost 60 from Cooper. And not like this would have saved you, but I know you're mad as hell that Steph turned around and gave you like 2 45-point nights back to back against the Spurs, and you couldn't get shit from him on Sunday.
It was brutal, man. But that again, like I cannot say this enough. That is not what made me mad. Like ironically, Steph doing that is not made me mad. What made me mad, y'all, is I'm going into Sunday thinking, okay, we've had a very competitive process. I don't think he's gonna make significant changes because surely some of these guys he cares about. It's gonna be a shootout. I wake up and my notice is going off because it says Tony Schwartz NBA has added 4 players and dropped 4 players. So he literally loaded up the gauntlet just to show you the sheer difference in who we had available. All the number scores you see are players. Tony has all these other players playing on this day. I have limited guys.
I have 3 ever rotating roster spots. Ever. For always. There's 3 guys that need to be cut on a night-to-night basis to win games. And you're telling me right now that when you have the opportunity to pick up Jeremy Grant, you're not going to do it?
Man, I'm telling you.
What about Royce O'Neal for Cole Anthony? That's the waiver wire edition of the year.
Listen, I'm not mad at you for playing in the mud. I'm just mad that you were literally in the mud to beat me. Like that really made me mad as a team. Because I swear to like I had the worst injury like to start this season. I wanted 3 right now, and a lot of it is because I just have 3 or 4 key guys not playing basketball right now. And I wanted to win badly. Again, Sunday came down to a 15-point swing. I was up by 15 points going into Sunday. And because of the variance, Steph not being the same man he was for 2 games, I lost the whole week. So
and I played 7 guys.
I was sick about that.
And I played 7 guys.
Yeah, and like I'm sorry, but Okongwu give you 78, and Dennis Schroeder giving you 50 anything. Where the main things I'm like, all right, bro, there's just if that's gonna happen, I'm not gonna be able to win.
What I thought you were really mad about was that I picked Dennis up that day. I didn't. Dennis was on the roster. Dennis stayed.
Oh, you stayed, Dennis. Okay.
I stayed with Dennis, so I don't understand why.
I think that makes me even more mad.
Hostile.
Because he was not hooping. He was not hooping until that one game, and that one game put him up 50 points, bro. Yes.
We talked for probably 2 weeks straight about usage and role players and like guys to target on the waiver. I activated all those skills, bro. Every single one of them. I activated the back-to-backs. I looked into everything. I'm like, this is my Super Bowl. I need to beat you today. Because if I don't, you're going to kill me on the pod. I could do it.
Listen, like it was that like his man was adding people at 8 a.m. in the morning, or like it was showing the timestamps of when he was adding and dropping
both
players.
sides. It was both sides. It'd be at like 10 o'clock at night and then 8 o'clock in the morning, first thing when I wake up before work.
I think the funniest thing for me is even though I lost, I did still wind up finding some long-term wins. I really monitored a lot of shit because again, I didn't have many players I could drop. So if I was going to drop a player that I felt like would be vastly desired, it had to be for a player that was worth it. And I gotta say, dropping Ace Bailey for Dennis Jenkins might have been the biggest move of my fantasy team right now. And I know Tony's laughing. Dennis is going crazy right now. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons.
For sure, bro. And now my question was, did you see if anybody picked up Ace? This is really bad commissioner conversation for me. But I didn't see.
I did not. I didn't
either.
I'm assuming someone did, but he did have a pretty bad stinker. So if they didn't, it's understandable. I'm gonna read off the last couple of games from Dennis, which in our matchup, I picked Dennis up and dropped him to get Ace to play on Sunday, and Ace gave me a stinker, which was super unfortunate. Again, just like I was doing everything in my power to win, and I just could not get variance out of guys when I needed it. But let me read you Dennis' stat line for the week because he came through in a massive way. So this is a player that is a two-way player, does not even have an NBA contract. Here are his game fantasy totals as follows to the people who are watching this video: 60 fantasy points versus Washington, 58 versus Chicago, 47 versus Philadelphia, and tonight he gave me 52.7. That man is hooping.
Yeah. That is some elite work, bro. That's Ryan Rollins. What is up this year with the rookie or the player that's like on the fringe, just going absolutely nuts? Absolutely nuts.
Killing, bro. I mean, shoot, Okongwu is going crazy right now. Like he's one of the best fantasy players in the league, and you drafted him. So I mean,
again, and that we go back to that first episode that we had. Could not believe I was drafting Okongwu. Could not believe it. But
yeah,
I got him.
Yeah.
Now I did a thing that I talked about all the way back in week 1. I just want to touch on this because you're talking about pickup too.
Yeah.
I finally rostered Luke Cornett. And between me and you, I regret it.
He didn't give you nothing. I ain't gonna lie.
I should have kept Yusuf. Or not Yusuf. I should have kept Pirtle. And but I'm gonna give it time.
Wait. Because maybe I missed that.
No, I was trying to win.
Jakob Pirtle for Luke Cornett. That's what you did?
And in my head, I was like, okay,
you're crazy.
No. And in my head, I was like, okay, so this is a twofold. One, I'm going to be gifted. And two, I could survive with Luke Cornett. If I never get Jakob back, I could survive with Luke Cornett.
This man dropped Jakob Pirtle for Luke Cornett. Just in any fantasy format, that sounds insane. That's how bad he wanted to win,
baby. 2-1.
Okay. That's a fine. All I know is Gifted FC is getting healthy. All right. I put up the most points in the league tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I'm praying for you. I really am. Your luck has sucked this year. And there's no reason that you should be the second lowest scorer in the league. And you've got Julius Randle on your roster who's like putting up 70-point games every night.
Bro. Listen, I've had starts like this before, so that's why I don't feel completely out of it. Like I've been 1-3 before. One year I started 0-4 because I had so many injuries.
I've definitely started.
And then all my guys got healthy, and I finished and I made the playoffs. So my whole thing is getting to the playoffs and having my guys ready to play at the end of the season. It's a long game, but you also need to win in the short term too. You know.
Another thing we talked about back in episode 1 was neither one of us wanted the first pick. I swear off, if I can ever help it, I don't want to get the first pick in the draft. And today's a great example. You have to wait for the back end of the snake to get 2 players that are basically second round picks. And everything hinges on Victor Wembanyama out for 3 weeks. Your whole fantasy roster is shaken up now. Everything you do is completely shaken up. If you were able to draft Victor, I'm assuming he went 1 in most leagues or 2. But I mean, as a center too, because you really need to roster 3 to 4 centers. Victor going down absolutely sucks. Sucks.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. And that's why I was laughing, because for me, I didn't want the one pick. But I knew who I was going to draft regardless if I had the one pick. It was going to be Jokic. So to
You ended
my
up getting your
amusement,
way.
seeing Wemby go first, like, oh really? Because I had the second pick, so I took Jokic, and people were laughing because initially Wemby had the most points in the league, but now you look and it's Jokic by a wide margin. Like it's not even. He's cleaning up right now.
I guess we'll have a quick MVP discussion, like a way too early MVP discussion. Well, who's your pick right now?
Right now, it's Shea. Right now.
Yeah. I feel like the league wants to give it to Shea too. And me and you have had conversations like this before. When Jokic is the best version that he's ever been,
He's the best player in the league.
I don't care what else is happening. That's the best player in basketball. And to me this year, especially with a bona fide backup center, he's able to contribute so much less energy to defense that the offense looks 2 times more decisive, 2 times faster. That's my MVP. Um, and it's so hard to say that without explaining to people that you cannot stop Shea. It's physically impossible. You need Scottie Pippen to play him like for 48 minutes straight. It's the only way that you're going to slow him down at all. He's the most annoying player to watch because no matter what you do, he's getting to his step back or he's getting to that left-handed lay on you every single time. Every single time.
The reason why Shea's MVP for me is, even if a person wants to say Jokic is playing better basketball, Shea every game has been ridiculously consistent. He's been 30 almost every game.
Yep.
He's about to break Wilt Chamberlain's 20-point streak, which anytime you're in the conversation to break a Wilt Chamberlain streak, you're doing something historical. But the fact that the Thunder have only lost one game, they've had multiple injuries. Their second best player has not suited up, and their mollywhopping team is about 20 points, 30 points. And the biggest thing for me is Shea's creation improving with the turnovers going down. Is what also makes him a really good fantasy player. So to me, like, Shea would have it now based on wins and based on how he's performed all the way throughout the season. But Jokic is peaking right now as a player in season. Like even tonight, he gave me 100 fantasy points again because he's just that type of player.
I think to me, it's the best version of Jokic I've ever seen. There's that defensive year 2 years ago where the defense is kind of clicking and everything's working out. But from both sides of the ball, this is the best version of Jokic I've seen. It might just be a new version, so I'm just shiny object to look at it. But I can anytime Denver's on my TV, they have my full attention. There's no picture-in-picture. There's no other game. Anytime there's a Denver game on, I'm locked fully in. And I can't really say that about OKC as much because I know how their games are going to go. I know exactly what's going to happen and what they're going to do.
It's so telegraphable. Like, we know they're going to win by 20. They beat pretty much every team by 30 for the most. Like, even tonight against the Pelicans, 30. Like, that's just what it is on a night-to-night basis.
And
we have not seen a team be this dominant since the Warriors.
No, it's insane. And then, so the way that this translates to fantasy basketball is when an offense and a defense is clicking this hard, every single player is valuable in their rotation. Yes. You know, I think that you sent me a trade for AJ, and the reason that I probably won't do that trade, just so you know, we'll do this live, is once Jalen Williams comes back, they got to figure out what to do with all these guys. And I actually think AJ is a dude that it won't matter because he does a Shea impersonation. It will not matter. They will just play him wherever they can fit him. But at the same time, I don't know who is the odd man out. They just have too many names, and every single one of them is going to give you 28 fantasy points.
Well, how I view it, when J-Dub comes back, AJ is going to shift to being the full-on backup point guard, and he's going to play out there with J-Dub in the non-Shea minutes. And if you're giving AJ Mitchell, Jalen Williams, and again, a really pesky defense, he's going to farm assists. Like, his shit is going to go down from trying to score 16 points, 18 points a game to I'll be 14 and 8 consistently. Yeah. And guess what produces 2 points per assist in fantasy basketball? So he will be getting high fantasy score numbers.
That's that's how I feel about Giuseppe out in Phoenix. That's a great fantasy player. I'm gonna keep banging this table for this guy. He's a great fantasy player. Like, I always will get 26 points, bare minimum. If he has a good game, 30 something.
Look, this is how I know I have a great fantasy team. I have the better son. Dylan Brooks is killing. I'm talking about 32 points. Waiver wire, baby. Didn't draft him.
I hate it. Logging on and seeing you get like fucking 60 out of Dylan Brooks. I was so mad. Oh my God. I was so mad.
Oh man, just let me get healthy, bro, please, because he's been outstanding this whole year. Granted, I had to survive a while. A lot of fantasy owners would have thrown him into the abyss that is the waiver wire because he missed like 8 straight games because of groin injury. But I'm like, not hold, and now is reaping dividends.
Yeah, so, thank God. And to be honest, Dylan is a player that team needs desperately, and he came right in and filled a role for them. Who's the new guy? I'm pretty sure he plays for Philadelphia, but he has a headband. He looks just like Bobby Portis, and he does Bobby Portis-like things.
Are you talking about the Justin Edwards?
Yes.
Okay.
Justin Edwards, also one of these dudes that just fills the exact role that team needs and is going to play basketball. Like, he's going to be on the court and do things that are going to impact your fantasy scores. These are players I love, and they're always available on the waiver wire. Always.
Yeah, they're always there. Now, I will say this. In our league specifically, things are getting so competitive. If you don't strike hot on a player immediately, they will be gone in that waiver wire, and it's not a game. I think my biggest regret so far, and each week I'm finding new regrets, leaving Con Kneppel on that waiver wire, because in my head I'm like, I need to hold on to Dylan Brooks as good as he's been. Con Kneppel's been amazing, and if you pick them up off the waivers, you got yourself a steal. Now, how long that lasts after Brandon Miller comes back with LaMelo, that's in the air, but he's been outstanding too.
That team's fun. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, they're fun.
I like everything going on in Charlotte right now.
It's a fun time over there.
All right, what's our last? We talked about 4 topics. What's our next one?
Oh, I think the next topic for this has to be, how do you deal with a fantasy loss in a day? Like, where does your mindset go when you realize I just gave up 200 points in a day? Do you panic? Do you hold? What are your philosophies?
So my one loss that I only have because I didn't max out my acquisitions. I learned my lesson and then did that exact same thing against you. My only loss is the same thing as like people in stocks. They say the market doesn't bottom on Friday. The market closes on Friday, it opens again on Monday. Market doesn't bottom on Friday. The market bottoms on Monday. So you really have to look at what your roster is going to do the next day. I need 2 days of evidence that I need to change everything before I go to change everything. If there's 3 or 4 names that are on your waiver wire list, like just dudes that you feel confident you can drop and pick up, or there's other names that you're confident you can add, I don't think you get into this situation that often where you're like, I got to change it all. Because my bottom end roster changes every day. Every day. But But if I'm looking at core guys and I'm thinking about changing core guys, I need to see the thesis change. I need to know that their minutes are going down, their usage is going down. They're not doing as well with the opportunities that they have. I need to see something change, or else nothing. If I lose by 200 points, I lost. I mean, end of the day, what's the difference if I drop 50 points every day or 200 in a day? It's the same thing.
I think for me, I try to be as composed as possible because once you put a player on waivers, that's virtually it. You go down to the bottom of
In a
the
good
pecking order in
league.
terms of, in a good league, true. And you then have to like really measure, is this worth it or not? I try not to make decisions that are just so based on 1 week win, because if I do that, but then I don't have this player for the future and he's really, really good, I might have sold my season. But you also have to balance that with, you have to win, because how this works is you win enough games to make the playoffs, and then all of it doesn't mean anything if your guys aren't ready to play in the playoffs. So it's about like making moves that have long-term appeal, but also focusing on the short term at the same time. I've been in a weird spot where I have guys that are so injured, they fill up my IR and they're also just actively hurt on my roster. But I have to think of all the other GMs having IR spots. So if I drop this player, it's nothing for them to claim that player, move that player to their IR. Now they got him basically for free. So I've taken 2 L's in my fantasy season so far because of that. Because I could have easily just crashed out and dropped all these players, but then I wouldn't be able to reap the current benefits I'm getting now. So that's me.
There's also like how many IR spots your league has can dramatically change the drafted team's composition by the end of the year. So, like, I'm not saying Walker Kessler's coming back this year. I highly doubt it. I would put every dollar I have that he's out for the season for sure, because they don't want him to come back. But a dude like Walker Kessler, if you drafted him, let's put a bigger name on it, but just pretend. Putting him on IR for the season can be a very bold choice. It can be a bold move to get that player back at the end of the season or towards the end of the year if he can come back.
I think the best example is probably Tatum, right?
I mean, yeah, someone has him rostered, right?
Yeah.
Somebody drafted Jason, right?
Jada drafted Tatum as like her last pick.
I mean, as a last pick, people would have bid for him if he was on waivers. So I think that's the right move. 3 IR spots is super limiting for that, though. I mean, incredibly limiting, especially in like fantasy where a dude can go, just because he's not playing today and then he's on IR. So, because you need an acquisition. So, I mean, like, an amendment I'm thinking about is changing that to 4. I just it's not super fun to drop somebody you drafted. It's not. It's never a fun interaction. But I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. But what I'm saying is you really got to consider IR. And again, you have to consider guys that you drop to pick up names to win a day. Like, all right, you just lost last day. You want to win this day. You might be setting yourself up for failure a week from now, which is like something I did with Pirtle and Luke Cornett.
That's so crazy to me. I would have told you don't do that.
I dropped like 7 points. It's fine. I'll figure it out. I picked up Jeremy Grant, though. He's staying on the team. That's looking like one of my best moves.
He's been hooping. I mean, I'm not mad at you for that, So, yeah, I think that stuff is important. I also think picking a player and holding him and using him in trades is so important. Like, the biggest issue that I have with my roster right now is I have guys that are sitting in IR, but they're getting healthier. Ironically, even though this is bad, Cam Thomas is hurt. So at least now, to replace the guys, I can actually just shift him down to IR without having to drop a player. But eventually I'm going to have to deal with having 3 of those guys come back and what that means for my roster. So like trying to make 2-for-1 trades to consolidate, and like thinking ahead with that is so critical to staying above water in leagues. I think that matters a ton.
And to me, all that's way out past the I just lost today by 200 points. Like,
Yeah,
if that is a decision that you make because you lost a day, then you're never going to win your league. You're constantly behind the eight ball. It's a reaction instead of being hyperactive. So you just got to try and make a decision about what you want your composition to look like and where you want most of your points to come from, and just trust the thesis. Like, just go after it.
yeah, yeah. I think all in all, that pretty much covers all of the deep fantasy gems for this week.
No,
Outside
it
of
doesn't.
Tony,
It's nonsense that LeBron's back before Tyler Hero. I've never been
oh
more
yeah, let's talk
pissed.
about that. Yeah, LeBron
I've
is coming
never been
back.
more pissed in my life that I'm going to see LeBron James play ball before Tyler Hero, who injured himself in the offseason practicing. I'm supposed to be back in 2 weeks, and we're going on a month and a half.
I'm assuming Tyler's losing all possibility for accolades this year because
It's
he's not going to
done.
play 65.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
done.
finished.
Which means that and this is important for Miami in a good way, actually, because none of the extension conversations have to include the multipliers.
Which is huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. He could be looking at the Jalen Brunson contract or right underneath it. And I think that's a good deal for Tyler.
I'm happy that you brought up LeBron because LeBron's fit on the Lakers with Luka and Austin Reeves, which, by the way, as crazy as Austin Reeves was hooping, he's starting to calm down a little bit, and now you have LeBron coming back. So how that's going to impact his value moving forward. But I think for me, more importantly, what this means for LeBron and his production in comparison to the league, because we just had a LeBron trade go down just now this week, Tony.
Yep. So we had no controversy this week, except for a LeBron Scotty Barnes trade, straight up. Except it wasn't straight up.
Yes, which was weird, and I wanted to like say something about it, but I just haven't been too pressed. But it does frustrate me how it made it sound like it was straight up, and then when the trade is finalized, it's actually LeBron for Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickly, but it's LeBron, Aldama, and one other player. I forget who the other player was. Let me check that real quick to make sure that I'm not just talking here.
Aldama, that's not nothing now. That's not nothing now.
I'm checking it right now for us just to make sure we got this trade all the way squared away. Oh, yeah. See, look, I can't even see it because Tony made so many acquisitions. It's taking up the entire week. Hang on. Let me fix this up here.
People just
mad
you trying to win. It's crazy.
You're really a nasty person, man. Like I was truly sick when I woke up and saw you added 5 people just to beat me for content, by the way. Like,
thank God.
That's great. It's great. Well, damn. I don't see anymore. The point is, it was one other person on top of Aldama with LeBron. And the question becomes, okay, who won that trade? Right? Because Barnes and IQ isn't nothing. Aldama could be viewed as nothing because you don't know about Memphis as their roster continually changes, but he does produce. He can also play 3 positions. And then it's like, okay, LeBron versus Barnes, who is the better fantasy player? You can argue Scotty because he can play 3 positions, right?
This is like that first trade. I can't even remember what it was. It was like Anthony Simons for somebody.
Anthony Simons with Josh Hart straight up.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I understand who the winner of that trade is, but I don't care. Like, if we can't do that trade, then we're not having fun. Like, this is not.
Oh, you know what? I got it.
League.
It was LeBron, Grayson Allen, and Santi Aldama for Emmanuel Quickly and Scotty Barnes. That's what it was.
Yeah, the core of this doesn't change. All of that just still is LeBron for Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
because IQ has been weird. Grayson will have nights where he doesn't touch the ball. Santi could be a player. I could see the core there, but this is still just Scotty Barnes for LeBron James. The point is, if you can't do that trade, I don't want to be in the league. Like, if you can't do the Scotty Barnes for LeBron James trade where someone's just like, give me LeBron because he's coming back and they need him and he's going to do like,
Yeah.
fine, go for it. Take that. Take that. It's not an unbalanced trade. It's just like we basically all know how it's going to play out. LeBron's going to get injured in about 4 to 6 weeks. He'll be dinged up. It won't matter to nothing. And honestly, the Raptors probably won't be good enough that it looks like a complete blowout of a trade. But anyway, the point is, I'm not vetoing that. I know you didn't want to veto that.
No, I didn't want to veto that either. I'm kind of with you. Like, certain trades have to be made, and there is an important distinction between being a league breaking trade or a personal you got served trade. There
Yeah.
is a difference. And I think the biggest thing for me, Tony, is if the Raptors aren't having a great goal at things late into the season, maybe they don't rematch Scotty Barnes. There's a good chance that if the Lakers are still competitive, LeBron is going to play down the stretch because they're trying to win playoff games. But the other argument is at the end of the season, LeBron gets hurt and they need him healthy for the playoffs. So he rests for the rest of your fantasy season. Meanwhile, Scotty Barnes gets to just stat pad and shot chuck down the stretch of his overall regular season. Or since they've been good, Tony, if they're competing for a playoff berth themselves in the Eastern Conference. So that's what makes it up and down. I just think Scotty Barnes being the younger asset who hasn't been hurt to this point already and can play 3 positions makes it an entertaining trade.
I'm excited to see, just as a side note, just because I don't want to completely crap on the idea of LeBron James if you're picking the ceiling. I'm excited to see what him. Obviously, he's over rested at this point. He probably could have played by now.
Yeah.
In a different situation, he probably could have played. But he's over rested, and they're moving pretty fast for a team with Luka Doncic. It's not fast, but it's fast for Luka. And I want to see what that looks like. What does LeBron as a secondary hub look like? Not like he's maybe touching the ball third every offensive possession. Like potentially he could be the third touch of the ball. Is Latrey going to be a wing shooter, a corner shooter right now if Luka brings the ball up? Now I'm really interested to see what that looks like. How do teams guard him? Who's on him? If you're playing the Timberwolves, who's guarding LeBron? And then that's where you get really into it, where it's like, okay, well, maybe LeBron's going to have a bunch of 25, 28-point nights now.
I think the part that people are really underlooking is in transition, LeBron gives them a much clearer advantage. I think LeBron could arguably boost Luka with just more dimes to LeBron. But the funny part about this is
Helps
LeBron
Rui a lot too.
Yeah, like there's gonna be players that get a boost because of LeBron's presence. But I would also say even if LeBron is limited as a shot taker, that means he's gonna be a more efficient player. He's gonna have weaker lines of defense on him, and more importantly, he might turn into a utility triple double guy. Where okay, I have more energy now to get rebounds, and that changes a lot. You know,
I think you look at how effective Jake LaRavia has been, and now I'm just thinking about putting LeBron's, like, that's the spot LeBron goes to, and it's the most elite playmaker at that size that's not named Jokic in the league, right? Like, that's the upgrade button. It's Jake LaRavia to LeBron James. So there's an upgrade button being smashed there. But what does it mean for the offense? What does it mean for LeBron and his fantasy points? I don't know. But I still think that trade's some bullshit. I would have took Scotty Barnes because LeBron's going to get some kind of plantar fasciitis, some kind of tendonitis. All the old man injuries are coming.
I don't think that's crazy. I just think
He's gonna
that
have
has
carpal tunnel.
already happened. I think that's already happened for the season for LeBron. I actually think that because he's gone through this, he's going to stay relatively healthy for most of the season now. I just think down the stretch, when it comes down to like needing to win basketball games, LeBron's going to be in a spot where they're going to need to rely on him more down the stretch. Scotty Barnes might be in a situation where if they're not good anymore, Scotty just chills, or maybe not, right? Like how this plays out totally depends on the teams and how good they are in March, April, and that'll determine where your fantasy money is at. Truly.
All right, well, I'm good. You good?
No, I'm not good. I'm 1-3. I haven't been healthy in the start of this league for a very long time. I need to stack up W's. I want to blow out Shane by 200,000 points because he was also talking greasy in the chat a little bit. So I want the dubs. I'm hoping to rebound strong for this week.
Shane bounced from like 4th or 5th in total scoring to just almost dead last. He's having a really hard time lately.
He competed versus me tonight, but just so people understand who his team is, he has LaMelo, Isaiah Joe. He's gonna
Sorry
drop him.
about that, Shane.
Zach LaVine, Kevin Durant, Jared Allen, Emmanuel Quickly, Scotty Barnes, Isaiah Hardenstein, Rudy Gobert, Trey Mann, hurt, Drew Holiday, day to day, Westbrook, Nikhil Alexander Walker, and then he has Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George. Anthony Davis, Kawhi are hurt out of their minds right now.
He built the all retirement home team.
And Paul George just got back to playing today, and VJ and Grimes had more fantasy than him tonight.
I just can't believe he's rostering Westbrook, Paul George, and Leonard. Like that to me is just hilarious.
Which is why him trading LeBron makes so much sense because you already have so many players with limited floors. You needed a higher floor.
He got IQ and he got Scotty Barnes, and I think for that he that's super successful.
Yeah.
Man, Shane, golly, when you read it like that, I've looked at Shane's team like 4 or 5 times, but when you really read it, man. At least you got LaMelo, man. At least you got LaMelo.
Whoo, man. Well, yeah, that is your week 4 fantasy recap. We'll try to have some of the segments here for the topics, but a lot of it hinges on our matchup this week because that was what Tony was gunning for every waking night and hour while I was just trying to stay alive and stay healthy. I think, listen, I know I lost by like a good margin, but like in my brain, if Ryan Kalkbrenner doesn't have a child and doesn't miss that one game, because he already gave me 48 fantasy points and then 2 days later couldn't play because of that, I feel like that would have helped me and instead played better. It's very annoying knowing I lost, and I'm gonna remember this the next time I see you.
Shout out to Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Yeah. Big shout out, man. But yeah.